Big partnerships, reopening of IBC between Lunar Classic and Luna could absolutely be what Lunar Classic needs to make a big push up. The market cooled a little bit at the point of which we're recording this video, but what does it mean for Lunar Classic? And ultimately, what are people saying about how much do you need and where's the price going to be in a couple of times? Well, we're going to answer all those questions in this video, but first, make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything going on in the world of Terra Lunar Classic, as well as the overall cryptocurrency market. And with that being said, let's dive into it. So currently, Lunar Classic here trading at the 17.9 range, or breaking just into the 18s, 0.49% up. Now we see the market cooled a little bit. Bitcoin had a bit of a sell-off over the course of the last hour, but is bouncing back. We know the Asian markets were buying aggressively yesterday. We're a couple of hours away from what that looks like, so time will tell. But RSI trending quite nicely there in the middle, so we could expect some pretty strong buying pressure. Now, Luna 2.0 did take a significant sell-off, however, is again bouncing back. And we know that IBC channels between the two are being opened very soon. We are seeing some really positive buying pressure coming into Luna 2. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but we know that the two are correlated. If people buy Lunar Classic, then Luna pumps. If people buy Lunar Classic tends to benefit from it as well. And it's even more important when we talk about the opening on the IBCs through the interchain wallets. If we take a look at past, we know that the reunify of the orbits of the moon, this is ultimately Lunar Classic bonding and opening those channels into Luna. What does it do? It allows a fluid movement between decentralized applications and a number of other projects between the two ecosystems. It can only be an absolute benefit to both Lunar Classic and Luna. So time will tell in terms of what that looks like. It will obviously take time to implement, but a positive step, and absolutely signifies where we've come from and where we are going. We also have the upgrade version 1.0.5 coming very, very soon. This is significantly going to pass. We're miles over the pass threshold. Now, I did talk about this on my live stream earlier, but these are the kind of proposals I think we should just put through. I don't think this needs, it's 4 days until this can then be closed down. I do think certain things like an upgrade that ultimately benefits the ecosystem should just go through in a shorter period of time, or ultimately should just be decided. I don't believe there's anyone that would vote against this, as it again supports the longevity of Terra Lunar Classic. Now, I always like these price predictions. I always like what people think coming in the years to come. Where do people believe will be 2025? Where do we believe 2030? How much Lunar Classic do you need to hold? Well, the honest answer is whatever you think is a good number, but about 2.5 to 3 million Lunar Classic will certainly do you right, potentially over the next couple of years, according to ambcrypto.com. Now, it's a pretty long-winded article, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but it does talk about obviously the past of Lunar Classic. What did it look like? And we know generally cryptocurrency follows the same pattern, whether that's in Bitcoin cycles, whether that in anything else, they generally follow the same sort of pattern. So I'm not going to go through too much of it, other than to point a couple of really important parts. It says here, the leading cryptocurrency, Ethereum, has transitioned from proof of work to a proof of stake mechanism. This has only made the competition among proof of stake blockchains tougher. Our network, the Lunar Classic network, does have 130 validators working at a given point. As a proof of stake platform, it is considered to be a very eco-friendly token. We talked about this. It's cheap, it's fast, and ultimately it becomes eco-friendly when you think about proof of stake and what that looks like. And that's where our blockchain does become an absolute benefit over any of the proof of work. We do know it's cheap, even remember with those increased gas fees that ultimately then are supporting the community pool and the Oracle pool. We talked a little bit about volume. Now, volume has been on the up in terms of Terra Lunar Classic. We know this is then fundamentally supported by a Binance burn. If you haven't seen my video talking about where I think those burns will be, definitely go and check it out. I'll leave a link to that in the description so you go and have a look at it. But I roughly think it's going to be between 5 and 8 billion tokens based on our current volume. Now, if the market continues to move up, we will significantly see that volume go up. It's just reality. So we could even see a bigger burn coming out of Binance. Now, ultimately, let's just skip to what this article gives us. This is about price predictions 2025. So we know we're talking about 3 million, between 2.5 and 3 million LUNC would be, in my perception, a good bag to have looking forward in the next 5 to 10 years. But it says, before you read further, you should understand the predictions of different cryptocurrency platforms analysis widely vary, as different analysis rely on different sets of metrics. A good number of times, less predictions can go wildly wrong. Besides, nobody can foresee events such as China's crypto ban or Russian-Ukraine crisis, which is absolutely fair to say. But Telegram predicts that the minimum and maximum price of LUNC 2025 will be 0.0089 and 0.0 0.28. So if we then punch that in, let's say we're going to hold 3 million. Let's say we're going to hold 3 million Luna Classic, which, you know, right now it's going to cost you about $540 to pick that up. So if we then look into 2025, where we're currently at the maximum possible price, sitting at 0.28, it's about $84,000 from a $540 investment right now. Again, remember, it's not financial advice. I'm just giving you the numbers and the stats, what it would look like. If you looked a little bit further into 2030, a lot of people talking about a $1.93 or even a $5 Luna Classic. Now, again, some of these, what's my opinion, I think they're pretty crazy numbers right now, but it's absolutely in the realms of possibility. Could we see a $500,000 Bitcoin? Of course we could. That's not absolutely out of the realms of possibility. So, you know, $1.93, you're talking $6 million potentially would be where your Luna Classic was. What's my prediction? I do think we lose a zero next year. I think building on the ecosystem is incredibly important. I think continuation of that build out of decentralized applications and fundamentally burning the token. We have to continue burning Luna Classic. It is so important. Remember, we now start with a 5 on our supply, but it's more critical than ever that we continue to remove supply. It will drive the price. It drives consensus in that Luna Classic is here for the long run. And absolutely, I am one of those that will be following that. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop in the comments, what is your 2025 prediction? We're going to come back and watch this video back in 2025. We'll see where we get to, but drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Where do you think the price is going to be? And as ever, thank you so much for watching these Luna Classic videos. I do appreciate you all out there, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if you are bullish on Luna Classic, and as ever, take care. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.